All right. Well, welcome to today's podcast episode. Today, we're actually going to be interviewing a power couple. This is going to be more of a wild card episode because they're actually friends of my wife and I. It's a power couple that have a franchise. So if you're a power couple out there, or you're thinking about starting your own business or potentially getting a franchise, then this podcast is going to be for you. Super excited to go ahead and introduce them. Let's go ahead and change the camera angle. So when we do introduce them, y'all can see what I'm going to see. So let's go ahead and go to camera angle number 4. And welcome. We have Morsy, and we also have Casiana, not Casiana. And it's a joke. It's a joke. But at the end of the day, the name thing. I'm working on names. So we're here in Gilbert, Arizona. BloomBlinds. You started your own franchise. First off, I'm gonna give a round of applause and say congratulations. Like, that's awesome to start your own business, do your thing. Congratulations on the new addition to the vehicle. That's all you had, the Mercedes, which we were just, Morsy and I were just talking about that. And then he was just like, yeah, I'm thinking about getting one, looking into it. And then you're like out of the country, you're driving the car. I'm like, that's sick. I like that car. Good choice. So let's get into the show and start off with, first off, where are y'all from? Because you're not from Arizona originally. And whoever's listening out there who wants to come to the States, the American dream is live and well. So let's kind of get into it. Morsy, you got the mic closest to you. Where are you from, man?
So first, I just want to thank you for having us today, Norman.
Of course.
Yeah, that's a pleasure for us. So I'm originally from Egypt, and I recently moved here. So
okay.
2 years, been in the States. And Casiana.
Where are you from?
Hi, everyone. Thank you again, Norman, for having me.
Of course.
Being here. So I'm originally from Romania, but I always say I'm a Romanian from Mesa, Arizona, because I've been here for 17 years.
I love it. I remember when we first met too. You're like, "Are you Romanian?" I'm like, "Oh yeah, I am. I'm actually a quarter Romanian."
Yeah, we share a bit of a heritage, right?
Yeah, exactly. 100%. I love that. So let's talk first off how you guys met, because that's a really cool, interesting story. Because you both love, anyone who's listening right now, you love to travel the world and have experiences and meet new people. Actually, my wife and I are leaving tomorrow to out of the country, which is going to be amazing, going to Korea, Seoul, and the Philippines. But how did you meet, for anyone who's listening out there? Because it's a super, super cool story.
So we both absolutely love traveling. We love experiencing different cultures. And I was visiting Dubai. I was just traveling there. And then we had a common friend from Tijuana. She was Mexican American.
Okay.
And I told her that I'm going to Dubai. And she said, Morsy is a great person that, you can be friends with them and he can show you around. So we actually met. It was not initially like, hey, go on a date and get married and have a child.
So he was your travel guide.
He was a friend of a friend who showed me. Yeah, it was a friend of a friend who showed me around a bit in Dubai. Yeah.
Okay. So Morsy, when the first time you laid eyes, were you like, "Oh my God, this was the one," or was it just like, "Yeah, here I'll show you around, and this is this and this is that and whatever"?
Yeah. So it was kind of like not like that. So
okay.
Because I planned like I was going for horse riding with my friends.
Okay.
And I asked Casiana to join, and she said okay, and she canceled, and okay, and she canceled. I'm like, oh my God, this girl. So that's how it started.
Whoa.
But yes, and then we went for horse riding. It was her first time, and that was really cool. So
that's so cool.
Yeah. So she really, really loved it, and I think that's a true also experience of
yeah.
The Middle East and Dubai.
Yeah.
It's not only like luxurious stuff like going in the desert on a horse. That was really cool. So
wow.
So we made something, and it was really good day. Then we went for a date, and this date ended up with another one, and I think like we got like 4 dates in one day.
Wow.
So and that's how we actually got connected.
That's so cool. Talk about like being in a different country and then having that happen. And so when you first saw him, did you think anything, or like just no?
When I saw him, and I think we both agree with this, I felt like I just met an old friend. I felt like I've met him before.
Yeah.
So it was not an awkward moment. It was not like let's adjust to each other. It was like a complete. We just really met, and
I love that.
I felt like he was someone that I really want him to be my friend. I didn't thought anything romantic would happen. But we had so much fun together. It was so easy to be with him and so simple. And for people who are dating, I know how difficult that is.
Yeah.
Right? So it was 9 days actually in 27 hours. We did so much, and I I have a lot of energy, and I wanted someone to match my energy and to be as active as interested in the world as I was.
Wow.
And Morsy definitely was that. And he is that.
That's so cool. I got to say that's awesome. And then to be able to just be internationally traveling and just living life and then be able to connect like that is super powerful. So how the heck Arizona? Like, how did this come about and you both end up here?
So yeah, as Casiana mentioned, like she she lived here in Arizona
Yeah.
for almost 18 years, and she's like Arizonian. I can't feel that. She loves it.
Okay.
So we travel a lot. We lived in Dubai for 4 years together, but
Wow.
I lived there like 12 years.
Okay.
And then after the pandemic, like we actually like had a question mark what we're doing.
Yeah.
We had like 1 year break traveling around the world. We
Okay.
lived in Europe, and then we lived also in Egypt for a couple of months. And she wanted to come back to Dubai. Arizona. She got like a good job offer actually here, and we said like, why not? And I think it was a good time to move, and we came to Arizona.
I love that.
So yeah, back to her home.
Aw, that's super cool. And so you had family here originally? Is that why you lived here for the 18 years?
No, I actually did not have any family. I'm the first person from my immediate and extended family to come to the United States.
Wow.
So I came here at ASU. There is a big Romanian community on the west side. I am in the East Valley, but I went to ASU, and I have friends who are like my family here.
Okay.
So that's from that perspective. And then my brother came 10 years, 5 years after I came here. So.
Wow, that's super cool. That is awesome. And now you have a little man, and so Noah, right? And how old is he? 4?
He's 4.5.
4.5. I know my daughter and him just love each other. I saw the picture last night from them doing their trick or treat thing, and she had just the biggest smile. And I remember you were actually scaring or doing something with her, and he was like, no.
It was actually like I was impressed with him because he was defending
Aww.
Jordan when I tried to like.
I love that.
I'm like, no. He was like, I'm your dad.
Yeah.
So you should be on my side.
Yeah. What the heck?
He was on Jordan's side. So yeah. They have a really, really good connection. So.
That's so amazing. So, all right. So now you're here in Arizona. You know, you're thinking of like, so you're working. I believe you're doing teaching, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes, I'm an anthropologist. I do teaching and
I love it.
Yes.
That's awesome. And then was it your initial idea to say, hey, like let's do this blind thing and go in this direction and buy a franchise?
So actually, like my background has come from I'm coming from a fashion retail fashion background. So that's what I used to do in Dubai.
Yeah.
And when I moved to Arizona with Casiana following and chasing her teaching dream, tried to open my own business. So tried to work back like in the fashion industry, but it's tough. Like honestly, it's tough here in Arizona. So I have to end up like doing something. So it took me like almost 1 year to find out the right business for us. So I jumped into the franchising business, and out of that idea, I choose the window covering industry, and out of the window covering industry, so I end up with BloomBlinds. So it was like a lot of work behind that.
That's awesome. And I just want to say here a couple things. Shout out Liftoff Agent for sponsoring the show. And we actually are customers of BloomBlinds here in the studio office. We actually have some blinds right here I'm looking at currently. And I got to say, it was a seamless process, very professional. Love the technology behind it as well. And they didn't pressure us to get like the most expensive. We're like, hey, you know, we love this house. This isn't for our ever home. We want something that's going to be modern and clean and just fit to what we have. And we want the blackout. And that's what we got. And the turnaround time and the install was awesome as well. So I just wanted to give you all a shout out for anyone who's thinking about potentially utilizing BloomBlinds. We are a customer, my wife and I, and it was a great experience. I just want to give you that. Of course, at the end of the day, right? So, okay, so now you're thinking about starting this. How did you approach your wife and say, you know, Casiana, I want to do this?
I was actually working on that, and I had the time like this year to do my own research. And honestly speaking, Casiana was not believing what I'm doing. I'm like, yeah, probably just like fulfilling his time. And no, I'm serious about this.
Yeah.
Until the day came that we have to fly to Dallas, Texas to meet the owners.
Okay.
I'm like, well, we're going to Dallas. So I'm like, that's serious.
Yeah.
So that's when she actually like took it serious. And but she's always like been support to me, so she's always supporting, and that's really, really good. So I honestly have no problems like, jumping into a new adventure and taking a new risk when she's next to me. So that's absolutely.
I love that. I love that. Okay. So for any women out there that are maybe going to go through something kind of what you just went through, and the husband's like, hey, come to Dallas with me. We're going to go check out and meet these executives that own this company. How was the transition? What advice would you give to anyone out there that maybe is going through the same type of situation that you've already went through?
Yeah. So first of all, Morsy and I, we have very different skill sets, and we were in completely different fields with a completely different backgrounds. And it's true, he spent about a year figuring out what he wants to do, and then after 6 months he did a lot of research. He would wake up, like we'd have these meetings at 6 a.m. I didn't know why. I didn't ask a lot of questions because I was busy with my own stuff. And 6 months later, when it materialized and we had to fly to Dallas and like make a decision that took a lot of hours thinking, that's when I was like, oh, maybe I should jump into some of these calls and see what this is about. But Morsy and I had another real estate business before. And we had houses that we own and we rent. Rentals. And it was also his decision. I'm not that business person as he is. So I trusted him, and he made very good decisions in tomorrow we have 7 years of marriage. So I knew that his detail-oriented mindset is gonna be okay. I did not thought I'm gonna jump into the business full time. I felt like, oh, this is a cute project. Sure, you can start it,
Yeah.
But exactly like you and Melissa, Norman, it's so important, right, to have that support and to have that trust in your partner. Yeah. Because you both have businesses, right? Yeah. So it's so important to have that partner and also that connection that allows you to work well together.
Yes, 100%. And we retired Melissa, Red Zantico, shout out. She's going through the house, getting everything ready for our travels. And that exactly, just supporting her, saying, hey, I understand you want to go full time. This is what you want to do. And taking on maybe more of the financial responsibility to give her less stress so she can do what she needs to do and be able to have that opportunity. Because I feel like a lot of people who's watching, listening, and just in general are getting to a point where like, do I want to be in traffic? Do I want to work a 9 to 5? Do I want to control my own schedule? And I feel like more people are like, yes, I want to control my own schedule, do my own thing, and not have to, work for the man or the woman. I want to be the man or woman. I want to have that opportunity too, which is awesome. So I got to say kudos to both of you for doing that, going in that direction, believing in yourself. And so now how do you manage? I mean, everything from you first and foremost are, a married couple, then you're a mom and a dad. Then you're the executives to your company and organization. Whoever wants to start first, how do you balance all this if there is even balance? I mean, last night we were just doing Halloween, and then you had to go to BNI. I heard you all had a presentation today, and I'm like, did you get some rest? How you feeling? We're tired. I mean, just keeping it real, right? Like keeping it real. That's what it is. But whoever wants to start, and I'd like to hear from both of y'all, how do you balance it?
So it's I'm gonna kind of continue with my last point. It's scary because it's your partner and you don't want your marriage to be only your business, right? So that was one of my concerns of working together when I jumped into the business full time this year. And I thought that we might have more fights, right? Or we might just like go head to head. However, again, because we came from very different skill sets, it's very clear, and it was not clear in the beginning, but it became very clear what each of us are good at. So I took the networking part, I took the scheduling part, I took the vendor part, like all the communication is through me. And then Morsy is the one who did the sales, who does the installs, who brings the people that help us, the subcontractors. So we each know what we are good at. And surprisingly, well, I guess maybe it's not surprise, but it was a surprise. It was a surprise to me that our relationship got stronger and better. We communicate so much more. We don't have time to fight. Like we have to talk about business all the time. So we don't have time not to talk to each other for a few hours. If we have a fight, we have to pass that really quick, to be honest.
Wow, I love that. I love that. Good, Morsy. Want to add to?
No, I totally agree with what Casiana said.
I love
it. Yes, it is hard. It's not like an easy thing to do. It's hard. It has like a pros and cons, but it is up to you. Like, what do you want? Do you want to keep both of them like successful, or do you want to like lose one of them?
Yeah,
it requires a lot of work. it requires a lot of attention. It requires like yesterday, as we said. So I have to have like work-life balance, but at the same time, like I have to finish work. We come to your event. It was so nice, by the way.
Oh, thank you.
And then just go back home, spend a little bit of time with the family, with the little boy, put him to sleep, and then continue presentation. So like it is hard, but at the end, like you are gonna get what you work hard for. So it is that's how it is. And as Casiana said, like we actually have no time to fight, and even if we have, then we have to spend probably like 5-10 minutes, and we have to talk. We have to go back and we have to reconnect. So that was like really good and made us like more stronger. But yeah,
I love that.
Chase your dream, and I think it's gonna be true.
I love that, and it sounds like you've worked on being more efficient. So efficient with the relationship, the conversations, and everything that you're doing, so that way you can maximize the opportunity of the conversation, what you're talking about. And whoever's viewing and listening out there, just for some contrast, like my wife and I, we don't work together in that sense. Like we have a fix and flip company, and we do Airbnb management, and we have the household, and we're parenting. So we are partners in that sense, but not like the day-to-day or the podcast or Liftoff, who sponsors the show. She has her tea company, I have my company. But I love how you both delegate and say, okay, what's your strong suits? What's your strong suits? And that's anyone who's listening, whether you're a power couple or just someone starting your own business, do what you love, delegate the rest, right? That's true. Then put emphasis on the fact that like, hey, put the energy in the things that you have more energy for because you love doing it, and then give that to someone else. So I love how you automatically found that dynamic so you can have quicker, faster success.
That's true. Absolutely.
I love that. I love that. That's super cool. So then, so how does it like buying a franchise? I mean, I know for the Liftoff agent side, we've been building it from the ground zero to where we're at. It's been 10 plus years and there's no roadmap. And, sometimes I just want to bang my head against the wall because there's nothing to follow. And I know that you have a little bit more of a roadmap, not to say that everything's lined out perfectly, but you have a little bit of a foundation to build on. How has that been growing the company and just kind of following those playbooks?
It's not an easy process. It requires a lot of like work and researches before you start and jump on a franchise business. It's not just like something that you jump on and it will go by itself.
Yeah.
So they already like they have the foundation, they have good system, and that's one of the reasons why I actually like choose BloomBlinds, because of the software and the system that they use, and the foundation is pretty like easy, neat, nice. So that's one of the things that actually made it successful. The other thing, which is like way more like on you and your partner or whatever, like the skills that you have, the passion, like the passion that you have, the motivation, all of that. That's all factors that driven the business to be successful. So we went out, like we had probably like around 10 franchise like offers on the table. And we went out of 10 to 5 and 5 to 3, and the 3 that where we like, I talked to them, I met the owners, and BloomBlinds was like really like standing up.
This is a lot.
So yeah. And the system that they use, honestly, it's really, really good. Like you got a text when we meet, like when we have an appointment, you got a text, like you can see that we are on the way. We scheduled you. You can track us on the road. You can actually like see where are exactly and what time we'll be at home. Once we are done, we also like send you the code straight away. So when we are at your home, we give you the quotation, like, which is a big deal for that industry, because a lot of customers, they got their code in a week or two.
Yeah.
So for us being able to measure, show you samples, get you everything on the spot, that's a big deal for that industry. So
yeah, huge. Casiana, want to add to?
Yeah, I just want to add, because Norman also mentioned that you absolutely love the technology. We have a lot of technology, and we have been successful. And Morsy thought about this. I would love to say that I thought about it, but I didn't. But Morsy thought of that. He said, "Look, I'm new in the country. A franchise would just might work better because it's going to give me the skill set to learn the business model and business developments here in the United States, which is a new country for him, right?"
Yeah.
And it worked perfectly. We had a lot of support, a lot of training.
Okay.
And the technology really made us stood out versus the other competitors out there.
Wow. I absolutely love that. That's huge. So it sounds like, from what I got, anyone who wants to start a franchise, do your research, do your development, look at all the options, narrow them down, just don't sign a contract with just any company. And it sounds like it's been working really well for y'all, which is awesome. And I remember there's a story last night you told me at our Halloween party that you have, $4 million home in Scottsdale. The gentleman's not even home, but you have the ability to license, bond, the whole nine, to go in, get him the quote, send everything over, FaceTime in real life time as that person's traveling the world or whatever they're doing, and then get that all done, which is awesome. So I think anyone who's listening and viewing right now, if you're, in the Maricopa County, Arizona, and surrounding areas, and I'm sure you guys are connected too. So anyone really around the country, I'm sure, mention that you are on the show, BloomBlinds. I'm sure even y'all get some type of credit, right? Or something. Yeah, awesome. Okay, cool. So I want to make sure we're maximizing opportunities, because if you guys are enjoying this episode at the end of the day, we want to tell stories, help motivate, inspire you, but also make sure that you all know that, they are business owners, right? And they're awesome individuals that you potentially could use for your own needs as far as blinds, what have you, out there. So I love that. So let's talk about what's next. What's in the future? Like, what is the vision, right? I mean, I know right now you're working on hiring and processes and the whole nine, but do you see, and this isn't going to be 100% clear. I'm sure it's always changing, but is this forever, starting your own thing? I mean, any little something we could hear first on the show?
No pressure. So
Yeah.
I don't feel any pressure.
Yeah, you take this. Go ahead, honey.
So yeah, actually, when I started that business, I had a vision. I had like 3-5 years planned, and 10 years planned. So 3 years planned. We grow this business as much as we can. We get more expansion, and I mean with expansion is more territories. And,
I love that.
So that's short-term plan. Long mid-term plan, probably we may expand in a different state, or we can expand our vans. Instead of 2 or 3, we get 4 or 5, and that will give us the chance to serve a lot of people in the valley. So
I love that.
Long-term plan is, it's a dream. And the dream is to, make the money work for me.
Yes.
And acquire more franchise business. Instead of one. So we move from BloomBlinds that we keep it, but we'll have multiple services. So we can do something like a flooring or roofing or completely different things. So we will have MCN, this is the name of the company. So under MCN umbrella, we'll have different categories.
We're talking enterprise here, okay? We're talking multi-million, you're not a $1 billion organization. But I love that, because if anyone's listening and viewing right now, you can call it the gateway, right? Here's the gateway to get into the home, to start the conversation. Someone buys us when they know, like, and trust. Now they know, like, and trust both of you, right? And then now what's next? Okay, well, how's your roof? Oh, these floors are beautiful, but imagine with your brand new blinds, you could do these type of floors. I love that. So, Casiana, are you behind that? What's some of your thoughts, and what do you see yourself? Are you going to take over the sales, marketing, that front end side?
So to just kind of tell you a little bit more of a short term
for
next year, it will be to actually collaborate with a flooring company or a roofing company.
I love it.
Have a showroom by next year. We are hiring right now, so give us a call. We are hiring a full-time
Information's
installer.
down below.
Yes. So we are trying to expand. With the company started with one person, Morsy, full-time. I was part-time. And then right now we have me, Morsy. Anna is a design consultant who's studying interior design, and she's a passion of her.
Congrats.
She's not just a job, she's our partner. And then we have 2 subcontractors who work for us. But we are looking to have someone full-time, and then add another van, and then have some collaborations where we can have a showroom here in Gilbert, Arizona. And I would love to take more of a sales. Right now, I'm the 3rd person that goes to sales. So when Anna is not available, we're overbooked, and sometimes we are overbooked.
Yeah.
And Morsy is on the road, then it will be me that you will meet. And I would like to do that. I would like to be more on top of sales, but also there is a lot of administrative work. So maybe hiring someone who can take some of my load work, that would be great in a year from now, not right now.
I love that. And I just want to put emphasis, whoever's just listening to that, and if you resonated with that and you want to be a part of a company on the ground floor, you heard long-term, short-term, hit them up. Instagram, information's down below. And that's what it's about, right? Collaboration, helping each other. That's why we've been talking about having you on the show. And I'm glad this is an opportunity that we can really be able to execute and be able to add some value to anyone who's out there that wants to start a business, get a franchise, be a part of your organization, have a little bit more context as far as things to think about, which is awesome. So I'm really excited. And it's funny, last night, it was, what's the odds that our neighbor's boyfriend owns a flooring company, and you potentially could have that already. It's already pre-manifesting.
Yeah. Kind of meet with him next week or so, and then we're gonna see how we can collaborate together. He already has a showroom, but he has floors, so he needs some window treatment. So that's a great way we can start collaborating.
Wow, that is so cool. That's awesome. So as we get closer to the end of the show, we always like to add value to someone who's listening and viewing, and really give them something to take from the episode. So let's keep it in line with kind of like motivation, awareness, like, you know, maybe you could pick, it could be, you know, business tip, personal tip, whatever from both sides. But as being a mother, being a father, being a business owner, having that positive mindset, you know, what would you like to leave our viewers and listeners, someone out there that, you know, maybe just they could take to themselves and think about and may apply to their business or apply to their relationship or parenting, whoever wants to start.
I can start, or I can end. You can.
Okay.
So I would like to recommend a book, which I think that will work really well.
Ooh, I like that.
Yes. So the book that I would recommend is called "So Good They Can't Ignore You," and you can actually find it on YouTube. It's about 6 hours. You can listen to it. You can go to the library and get it. You can order it on Amazon, whatever works for you. But "So Good They Can't Ignore You," it's really about sometimes you do things that you might not fully enjoy. Like our job is a lot physical, right? And I didn't thought I'm gonna enjoy having a physical job after teaching, right?
Mm-hmm.
But this book tells you that you need to really acquire some skill sets before you make some drastic decisions that might not specifically work financially or career-wise. So I feel like that's a great way to start. If you really don't know what you want to do in life, or you have some ideas, maybe in a year or 5 or 10, maybe this is a good way to start. Read this book, have some ideas, see what you might be good at, and how you can acquire such skill set that you're so good that they can't ignore you. But that takes time. So I want people to understand that it takes time.
Wow, I love that. I'm looking at the book right now. Amazon, it's like $14, and then you can get a free credit if you download Audible. So just anyone out there, no excuses. Morsy.
I would just like add to what Casiana said, and I think that's something like you can do is just get out of your comfort zone, learn something new.
Yeah.
Don't be afraid, but again, like take risk, but study.
Yes.
And do your research before taking the risk. So that's an important thing. And like know what you're good for, know your skills. That's a very important. And delegation is a very, very important thing.
Love it.
So delegation it's helping, and it helps us a lot. I know, like, I'm not good at something. I cannot, like, nobody's perfect.
No.
Nobody's good in everything.
Yeah.
And I know what's my skills, what's my strength, and I know what's Casiana's. So we did delegate the work, and that worked perfectly for us.
Wow.
So everyone's good at what they do. And the other thing that I would say, just like do what you like. It's okay to do something that you don't like until you get what you like.
Ooh,
so
that's
a very important thing. So just do it. Have faith in it.
I love that. I'm gonna switch camera angle. Everyone can see all of us. I'm gonna do a round of applause. Because I gotta say, there's just so much for our viewers and listeners out there that can take from today's episode and apply in different lights, right? And normally we have real estate professionals, and we have title and mortgage and all the things, technology providers that's in the space, and so this is now unleashed, and so we want to branch out a little bit. It's not so much about the name, more about the value, right, and the connection. So we really appreciate you both coming on today. I know we had to reschedule a couple times, and today's a crazy day, but I'm like, they already scheduled, no more rescheduling. Let's do this. And so I'm so glad that we got to end today off with a positive note, having you both on the show. And I'll make sure everyone listening, viewing down below, there's going to be links check out, subscribe, connect with them on social media. I know that Casiana, you do a lot of the social media I've been seeing. You're also just featured on the news here locally, which is huge.
Thank you.
Yeah, congratulations on that. And thank you both so much for being on today.
Thank you. Thank you,
Thank
Norman, for having us.
Of course.
Pleasure.
And I really want to thank you for having the time, especially today, because
Yes.
Norman's traveling in a few hours. So we appreciate you having the time and sitting with us.
Hey,
So,
it was my pleasure. And to be honest with you, we like to be ahead of schedule, 2, 3, 4 weeks out. So that way I can travel and then this will
That's
go
awesome.
out and then I can save myself time. So this is perfect. This actually worked out great. And yeah, so thank you so much as well.
Thank
And
you.
for whoever's viewing and watching right now, please do us a favor, subscribe, notification bell. Big thanks to Liftoff Agents for sponsoring the show. And it is our intention for you to take things from our episodes, apply your business to have more massive success. And we'll see you all on the next one.